be beaming, I be booming down that block. Everywhere you go, you know they know I'm hot.
What's the deal, my good people? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Friday. I hope you all are doing well. If this is your first time at the channel, I want to welcome you here. Pull up a seat. I hope you enjoyed the content. And before we get into this food, I want to ask that you like, comment, share, subscribe, and go ahead and tap that bell while you're at it so you're notified anytime I drop a brand new video, go live, or schedule a premiere. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get into this food. Kept things very simple. We're doing some crunchy tacos today. Tacos, y'all can see they're messy. I decided not to clean up all the extra toppings that spilled because, you know, why? I love me some tacos. These are cauliflower tacos. I use cauliflower rice. It was frozen cauliflower rice. Put some Cholula on it, the original. And I just put it in a skillet with the taco seasoning and some onions and stuff. So let's see, I think I'm gonna eat at least 4. All right, so what's going on, y'all? Like I said, happy Friday. We done messed around and made it through the week, y'all. Hope everybody is hanging in there, doing well, being safe. That was my sauce. This taco kind of skimpy. Still good though. I have cauliflower rice, cheese, tomatoes. We didn't have any lettuce. I don't think we did, but I put spinach instead. Green onion, cilantro, sour cream. I love me a turkey taco, some ground turkey tacos. This is good though. This is a good alternative to meat. The cauliflower rice. I'm so hungry. More hot sauce. This Cholula is so good. I love this hot sauce on eggs too. Do y'all have to put your tacos together a certain kind of way? I know people can be kind of particular about certain things. I know some people that put cheese first before they put anything else. I do meat, cheese, tomatoes, lettuce, and like sour cream. That's kind of like usually the order that I put my taco in. I don't know why, but I always do. Today is Friday, which means it is family night. If this is your first time here at the channel, every Friday we go live, 7 p.m. right here on YouTube, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I want to have some fun tonight. Last week we did improv, which was a lot of fun. So we improv these different scenarios and stuff. So maybe some improv, maybe even some trivia. I gotta finish these questions. So hopefully we can do trivia. Either way, I want to have some fun. So y'all come through if y'all around. Set your post notifications to all. So you can know anytime I go live. I am definitely a few days late, but I want to wish I want to send belated birthday wishes to Trina. My bad. I meant to say this like 3 days ago. But I do hope you had a good birthday. I am going to resume with story time part 3 today. Not part 3, it's part 4. Today is the finale. I love this Cholula because of the flavor is good, but it's not too spicy. I can hang with it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started with story time. So I left off with the show that I had at Coconut Teasers, which is a club out here. It used to pop. It used to be a big deal out here in LA, and it was off of Sunset. So I had a big show. It was just kind of coming down from that afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Just like taking it all in, just wanting to be an even better, you know, MC, wanting to understand the business side of it. Because the business side of it was a lot. It really was. I mean, I know y'all have heard the stories of artists getting screwed because they didn't understand the business side of it, and I didn't want that to happen. So me and Tone were really just trying to understand every aspect of the music industry at that time. Also, we wanted to keep the momentum after doing that show. So we started reaching out to different venues to do shows. So it wasn't like how it is right now. You know, I could go find a venue right now and shoot them a DM. I can call them, email them. Email really wasn't a big thing. I mean, the email was around back then, but people didn't really use it like that. So, you know, we found venues that we wanted to perform at, you know, or to inquire about a booking. They had websites and email addresses, but people didn't really respond to the emails. Like, you really had to do a lot of legwork in terms of calling, waiting for the general manager to come in, waiting for the manager to come in. So it was a lot of legwork to get in touch with venues. But we did. And I started doing shows all over, like Southern California. Bars, just like small, like venues or whatever. And we kind of had some momentum going for a little while. And I think a lot of it was like, what's the next move, you know? Of course, we wanted to get a record deal, but that wasn't really panning out. So Tone was never really the kind of person to sit around and wait for something to happen. He created his own label, and I was the first artist signed to the label. And I mentioned to you guys that we met an entertainment lawyer through Bobby. So the entertainment lawyer helped Tone put together all his paperwork, his contracts, and everything. So, and y'all already know that really pissed Squeak off. Squeak was hot. She was mad. You know what I'm saying? Because she felt like she should have been the first artist signed to the label because she had been around longer than I was. And, you know, her attitude about it all didn't help. Because I do believe that Tone wanted to sign her, but she still wasn't going to be the priority. And that's something that she wanted to be the priority, or she didn't want to sign at all. And he was just like, well, I can't give you what you want, you know? So Squeak kind of disappeared. She fell off the map at that point. You know what I'm saying? Because like when she would come around, she would be a disruption, you know, making stuff all about her, you know, telling us what she was working on. And it was really hard to be happy for her because of it was the way she would come off. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, Squeak was out the picture. And I also knew that with him having a label, he was going to have other artists. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no way I could carry a label by myself. And you want to have a lot to offer. You want to have variety. So at some point, I don't know how he met this guy, but this guy, let's call him Trip. Trip was in Texas, but he had this dope flow. He was a producer, great guy, great personality. he ended up being the second artist signed on the label. I think Tone met Trip through one of his cousins. His cousin was like a truck driver. So I'm not mistaken, that's where Trip came from. But like I said, cool dude. You know, Tone filled him out. I used to talk to him all the time too. And he got signed. So 2 artists on the label. Boom. We feel like we're making progress. Still doing shows. Still doing our thing, right? So then one day Tone is at the mall and ends up meeting this young guy. Meets this young guy. Super enthusiastic, charismatic, great energy, positive attitude. And he could spit. I'm not gonna lie, he was hard. He was hard, he really was. Tone was impressed by him. You know, started bringing him to the studio. Me and him hit it off. You know, he wasn't like trying to impose himself on anything that we had going, which I could appreciate, because some people, especially when you're really talented, I think that sometimes people can feel like, hey, it's all about me. I'm gonna be the priority. I could run this. That can very much be people's vibe when you're super talented, but he wasn't like that. So he was a real cool dude. So he continues coming around. And let's call him Pierre. So Pierre's a young dude coming around, you know, taking things in a different direction, in a good way though. Like his flow, his vibe, his ideas were just very refreshing, you know? And I remember when one day Tone came to me and was like, Rhonda, I want to sign Pierre to the label, but I really want to kind of make him the priority. And I remember it had been about me for a while at this point, but I've never been the kind of person that felt like, oh, how could you? You know what I mean? Like, I'm always the kind of person, if you're really trying to be a team player, I'm all about what's best for the team. You know, if that's what's best for the label. And I agree. He was super talented, super duper talented. You know what I'm saying? And he was hungry. So I'm like, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? If that's going to get us to where we need to go, you know, hopefully we end up, because the whole point of him starting the label was to hopefully get a distribution deal, you know, from a bigger, like a music group, like from Universal or from like Interscope. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of like what Master P did with No Limit. Kind of like what Baby and Slim did with Cash Money. You know what I'm saying? They got huge distribution deals. That's what we were hoping for, you know, building a roster, putting out good music to be able to get a deal, you know what I'm saying? So we can put our music out and get it to the masses. Because that was the frustrating part, I think, was our music not being to the masses, you know, because you want to deliver your product to people to hear, you know what I'm saying? And again, social media was not a part of this at all. So it was just about your leg work and you basically pushing CDs out of your trunk, you know, standing outside after clubs, talking to people, pushing your work, you know. So that was the whole point of him starting a label to begin with and filling out the roster. So Pierre became the priority, you know, and he was writing like crazy. I even feel like he started producing. He just really brought a great energy to the label at that time and what we were doing. It was like we really needed him, to be honest with you, because even though Trip was incredibly talented, he lived in Texas. So his energy was never with us. Everything we did with him was over the phone. It wasn't even over camera. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think and even if webcams were out, we didn't have one. And it wouldn't have been anything like today. You know what I'm saying? Like present day technology, you could feel like you're in a room with somebody with them being in a whole other country. You get what I'm saying? So it wasn't like that. So Pierre just brought that energy. So we really felt like it was time to make some stuff happen. Like that we could really take this thing to the next level. And I remember, like I had mentioned, that Tone knew a lot of people. Always talking, always trying to make a business move, always hustling, right? So I remember at some point, I don't know how he got connected to these people, but he ended up meeting somebody that like owned a trucking company. This guy and his family owned a really big trucking company in Vegas, and they wanted to get into the music industry. They wanted to develop a label, and not a label, but like they wanted to put some money behind artists and smaller labels and stuff. So Tone ran into the guy, you know, talked a whole lot of ish, a lot of big ish about his artist and how talented we were and how we was the next thing. And the guy was like, all right, if y'all dope like that, come through, come to Vegas. We want to see what y'all working with. We're like, all right. So we planned a trip to go to Vegas. Now, for some reason, Trip couldn't come. Trip couldn't come out to Vegas from Texas. And Pierre, I don't know what happened with him. He was supposed to come, but something happened either with his job or whatever, and he couldn't go to Vegas. So it was just me and Tone. Me and Tone took the trip down there. I remember we stayed at the Flamingo Hotel, and we was preparing for this meeting. You know what I'm saying? We had everybody's material, everybody's songs ready to go. I was ready to perform in front of whoever, you know what I'm saying, wanted to hear me do my thing. We was just preparing for this meeting. This was a huge meeting that could really change the things, change the trajectory of everything, because if it went well, we would finally have money and a budget to do stuff we wanted to do. Bigger projects, hire, you know, we could hire big producers, make music videos. I mean, this place, it was like the company, it was a big company and they had money. So we're in Vegas. I think we went and got something to eat that Friday. Hung out, just chilled, went to the casino. Then Saturday was gonna be the meeting. So, you know, we got some rest, had breakfast, and we're just sitting around talking, just ready to deliver. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really felt like this was gonna be it. And we ended up meeting them at a house. And it was a big house. It was a mansion. And it was just like, yo, like this could be the real deal right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, this could really change everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe I won't have to go back to school, and I'll be able to do what it is that I love right now in my life, and I'll have money to be able to take care of certain things, do things for my parents, my grandmother, you know, stuff like that. I was really getting excited. At this house, we meet up with like 3 dudes, 3 brothers that run this company. Their father started the company. We meet, I'm nervous. We play Trip's music, Pierre's music. They play my music as well. I perform live. And Tone is hitting him with the mouthpiece, because he had the words, you know what I'm saying? Like, he knew what he was talking about. And he definitely had the gift of gab. So Tone is just telling him everything, and everything is just kind of feeling like it's about to be a thing. So, you know, we shake hands and we go back to the hotel, we leave. And we was like, damn, like, you know, that couldn't have gone any smoother. I don't see why this wouldn't work out. We come back home on Monday from Vegas, and we're just excited. We're waiting on a phone call to get an update on what they want to do, what are the next steps. And so I'm gonna say it was about maybe, I don't know, about 2 or 3 weeks before we finally heard from somebody from the label. I mean, not the label, the trucking company. Because we were trying to be patient. We wasn't trying to call every single day, but we were antsy. It's hard waiting for that phone call for 2 or 3 weeks, you know what I'm saying? We finally got the call. You know, there was no deal. What happened was that the older brother just changed his mind. You know, he felt like the music industry was so unpredictable, a lot of ups and downs, and they just weren't ready to make that move yet. So, needless to say, we didn't get the deal, and it was back to square one. And it was a blow because it really, really felt real. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing for it to be about, you know, conversation and this might happen and I'm gonna call you. But when it's like, hey, we have a company, we have a lot of money, you know, we want to switch industries, we want to try something new, come to Vegas, like it all just felt real, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I understand, you know, and this company never ended up in the music industry. They just, you know, stayed in trucking, and probably was for the best, you know what I'm saying? Because eventually the music industry changed a lot. But it was just, I'm not gonna lie, we was disappointed. Not, you know, not, and just, I think a lot of it because we put all our eggs in that basket, you know what I'm saying? And after that, it was just really hard to like get your foot into doors, you know? It was really hard. Like, if you weren't pushing a lot of units independently, like I said, Audio Trump, it was really hard to get meetings, you know? And that was kind of it, you know? And things just kind of fizzled out after that, to be honest. I mean, we still were like doing shows and stuff, but it's like at what point, like what's the next level to this? You know what I'm saying? Like what happens next? I always felt like I would stop doing music by the time I was 27 if I wasn't where I wanted to be. And of course, back then, age mattered. You know what I'm saying? Like, there weren't 35-year-old rappers just starting the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody started young and was vibrant. And the music industry was about looks. It was about age, you know, and how appealing you could be for people. I mean, now it's a lot different. I feel like I could be an artist right now and push my music independently. You know what I'm saying? Because the game has changed now. But back then, it wasn't like that. So I always felt like that I was going to stop rapping at a certain time anyway. And because things just weren't going as planned, and we were really giving our all, like I said, things just kind of fizzled out. I'm going to say after that trucking meeting, we probably still did music about another year. You know, still trying, still pushing shows. But again, it's like, what's the next level? Where's the funding coming from? How are we making money? I mean, we made some money on some of our shows, but I mean, how do you make this work long term, you know? And of course, in all of that, I had to go back to school, you know, and fulfill my promise to my parents. I just kind of started focusing on that, to be honest, you know. And after things kind of fizzled out with Tone, we were still cool. But eventually we had lost contact at some point. And I remember the last thing that I did musically was in 2006. And shout out to my friend Queen Candy Cole. She's an MC still to this day and super talented. We did some music together. But she connects me with an engineer. And I honestly, 2006 was the last time I did music, and I did it on my own. I put together a mixtape. I never released it. I don't know why, but I put together a mixtape. And I did it because I wanted to prove to myself that I could do something outside of anybody else, independent of anybody else, independent of Tone, independent of anybody else. Like being able to pick my own beats, you know, my own concepts. I always wrote my own music, but I'm saying like Tone always played a significant role in picking out my tracks and stuff, like what I sounded good on and stuff like that. So I wanted to prove to myself I could do a mixtape, and I did. But that was kind of it. That's when I stopped rapping. And then I continued with the rest of my 20s, saying I was a screenwriter, but I really wasn't. I was just talking a good game, had a lot of ideas, but I wasn't the kind of person putting things in motion. And I want, you know, I've gotten a question of, do I miss music? I do. I think that I can still be an artist and be an MC right now. Also a lot of it too, there was a lot of responsibility as an artist, you know what I'm saying? Like like I told you before, waiting on people for tracks and beats and all of that. I would have had to learn how to produce, which I didn't have an interest in. Had I learned how to produce and been able to really kind of be a one-woman show, I think I might have continued doing it, but I had to depend on too many people, and I didn't like that. So, because people drag their feet, you know what I'm saying? And I like to get stuff done. So, that's kind of it. Then my energy shifted into writing. And even though I think I will always love music, and you know, I love the fact that I can still rap a little bit, you know, it's not my main love. I am in love with writing and producing and filmmaking. I think I'm definitely, that's more so my calling and more so my speed. And also I have more control over that, you know. It's much easier to make those things happen and be hands-on. So that's the story it's been, y'all. That is the story it's been, you know. And just looking back, you know, somebody had said in the comments, like, wow, Rhonda, you know, you've lived so many interesting parts of your life, so many things you've pursued and gone after your dreams. And I was like, I never even thought about that. That I did actually pursue my dream, and I gave it my all, you know, I did. And I'm grateful that I did. I met a lot of great people, you know, and just like the whole idea of putting together your own show, it was like, wow, I did do that, but I never really thought about it like that. So that's it. And like I said, y'all met Spin, Sincere, Rhonda, that's who y'all get every day. Well, all the time when we interact. So I hope that y'all have enjoyed this chapter of my life. I'm sure there will be another story time. I just got to think of what. And I cannot believe I ate all those tacos. And I don't even feel full. They were good though. All right, y'all, I'm about to go ahead and get up out of here. Like I said, if you're around tonight at 7 p.m., please come through to the live. We're going to have some fun. You know, just try to take our minds a step away from what's going on. You know what I mean? Just have some fun. So I'll see some of y'all tonight. The rest of y'all I'll see in the next video. Make the best of the weekend. Have a good one. And be good to yourself. Peace.
I be beaming, I be booming down that block. Everywhere you go, you know